Have you ever wondered about how professional athletes have felt by what fans say under their name and on social media? Well, today I have been wondering about this topic, and I went to research on it, and I have found many cases on this. Now, before I jump into all of the examples and stories that I am using today, I am just going to state real quick my thoughts on this. I think the fans complain too much, and sometimes I too complain, but I try to control and hold myself from doing that. Anyways, some fans go on social media and they go on to say horrible things about the players, even if it's just about the players having bad performances. And every player is going to have their bad performances at times. Now, of course, some players just ignore the criticism, but also some do hear these messages and they just have to respond back, and that is what I'll be going over today. And it is absurd of how many examples I could use over this topic. Anyways, I'm going to start off with using Russell Westbrook first, and there's a great example that I'll use about him. Before I talk about it though, I'm just going to state that Russell Westbrook is probably my favorite basketball player of all time because I grew up watching him and he was just a big inspiration to me. Westbrook was talking in an interview back in March of 2022 and stated that he was at a parent-teacher conference with his son and his wife. When grown adults would always say his last name Westbrick, as in him breaking shots and missing shots and missing. He says it's very shameful because he took their last name and made it into a criticism joke. And he says very shameful. He stated that in his interview that he wants it to end and people want to respect him, and I think he has every right to feel that way. He goes on to make one more statement saying that his own family doesn't want to attend his games just because of the slander that they hear about Russell. In my next example, I'll be using LeBron James. Everyone knows LeBron, so I won't give much of an introduction for him. Anyways, LeBron has had many good and bad interactions with NBA fans, including him responding to fans making complaints and him addressing them. LeBron has urged fans to value the current NBA and celebrate the players of today's game instead of bashing them and complaining. LeBron has responded to criticism and has defended himself in a respectful manner. LeBron is known to have many on-court interactions with fans, and it is certain that every time it has occurred, it has been the fans starting the controversy. There's been occasions where LeBron has even pump faked a fan, and it worked, and it was pretty funny. In an interview that happened after the Timberwolves and Warriors games last night, Jimmy Butler called out the Minnesota Timberwolves fans on what they had to say to him. According to Butler in the interview, he said he doesn't mind the booing, but he also stated that some of the fans went further and had said some things that he wouldn't even reveal just because of how nasty it was. On February 23rd of 2024, Kevin Durant was heading out to the Dallas Mavericks court as a woman had called him a derogatory word, and he went straight to the people to confront them about it. Durant had this to say in an interview about the situation. I know you don't mean that, and I'm not going to get kicked out because you paid money for these tickets and you had a couple drinks. And I understand how people get, but there's better ways to get my attention and talk to me other than just to call me that. I am on Durant's side on this, obviously, and I hope fans can learn from this. In this next example, I will use an NFL player named Tyreek Hill on the Miami Dolphins. Hill was being interviewed after a game versus the New England Patriots. Hill stated, "Those fans are some of the worst in the NFL because they are real nasty." I stand on with Hill on this and their derogatory acts, by fans not only happen in the NBA, but it also happens in the NFL and so many other leagues, and it's just truly sickening to see. And in my last example, I will be using NFL quarterback Josh Allen. Now in this one, the negativity was not towards Josh Allen, but it was towards the Buffalo Bills kicker Tyler Bass. Allen has been in situations where he's faced stuff like this, so he knows what it is like to be taking criticism from fans. Bass had missed a playoff game-winning kick, so Allen knew some fans would put all the blame on him, and Allen was being a good teammate. Allen defends him in the post-game interview, stating that fans will say the missed kick cost them the game and the season, and he responds by saying a couple of plays, or just one, just don't define it. Overall, I think the fans need to relax and just remember that all of these are just games, and this shouldn't be taken so seriously. Okay, I'm done.